And hello YouTube, and today we are mostly going to be mending a crankshaft. Yep, we're going to do the crankshaft today, but before we do that I have a little announcement to make. I have discovered something in the yard, so if we just go outside and have a look. In the yard I have discovered a ladder up against the side of Etty. Now, should we see what's in here? Ah! There's Rob!
Hiya.
Hello Rob!
How you doing, alright?
Yeah. Now Rob is currently cleaning his boat. So we'll have a quick look. Now look how clean that is compared to the last time you saw it.
Yeah.
She's come out well, hasn't she? So I believe we've ordered the lining for the boat. And we're going to go and get the stuff for making the poles for the awning later. So that's something we'll do later. So there we go. We're getting on with cleaning it. Well, Rob's getting on with cleaning it. I'm standing here waffling. But as you can see, there's stuff everywhere, because obviously we've emptied the boat. Well, he's emptied the boat, but isn't she clean? Got all the winter grunge off. So right,
It's a start.
it's a start, and hopefully as the weeks progress you'll see a big difference. Okay, so somebody asked me, was it possible to disassemble and reassemble a crankshaft without a press? Well, I've never done it without a press, but allegedly it is possible in a vise. So I'm going to have a go. So I've got my bits here. Piece of copper on the vise jaw to protect the pin. A socket to fit over the pin. And we'll just slide that in there like that. Now, I don't know if this is even going to work. I'm a little bit worried it might not. But we'll see. Allegedly, it should do its thing, so we'll see. I don't think it is. No, it's not doing anything. I've just maxed the vise out. And it's not happening at all, I don't believe, no. So, I think we'll just do this in the press the old-fashioned way, the way I've always done it. Yeah, that wasn't happening. Tell you what I am going to do though, gently warm it up. I think that might be a sensible idea. So I'll leave that socket on the top. Just gently shut the vise, not on the pin. Just back it off slightly. I'm just going to warm this piece of metal up with that socket still there, so that it swells up a bit. And provided I don't heat the pin, it might move, so we'll give it a go. Be very gentle, right on this edge here, and hopefully that socket will keep the pin protected from the heat. And it might even make the pin drop out, I doubt it, but you never know. Just gently warm that up. Very gently warm that up. I don't think it's going to make much difference, but it might do, because heat is a wonderful thing when it comes to moving things. It'll do immense amounts of work. So we'll just gently warm this now. And what I'm trying to avoid is heating the pin up. So that's why I've left that socket on there. So we'll give it a go now and see if it wants to move any more. I doubt it will, but you can never guess. It should want to do something, so we'll give it a go now. That's hot, so I'll change that. Take that off. That's hot. It's too hot to hold. Give this a go now. It's a bit warm. Open the vise. Don't know how much I'm going to open this vise a bit more than normal. It's quite a big socket. Put this on here like we did last time. Put that way round. Close the vise up. Oh, that's hot. Okay, see if it moves, eh? It's doing something. It might be doing something. Nah, it's not having it. Not having it. The best way is to press, so my theory on that is not really, you can't do it in a vise. Can't be done in a vise. So we'll let that cool down and then we'll take it over to the press later. Well, it has moved a fraction, look, you can see the mark. There's a little bit of movement there, but not a lot. And I think that's probably overdoing it for the crankshaft pin. So we'll take this over to the press later and we'll let that cool down. We'll press it out. Right, so I made a bit of a boo-boo. I thought I'd hit the play button and I'd hit the stop button. So I've been recording my walk to the shed and not the actual pressing. But anyway, I pressed it out. Did it dead easy. So I got it flush. That's absolutely fine. And what we'll do then is we'll stick on a bearing, the new bearing. Lovely, look at that, nice and shiny. The crankshaft, the com rod, and the other bearing, which is that way round. And then we'll put this in its box for 5 minutes. Now really what we should do is warm up this part, which we're going to press on, and cool down the bit with the crank and the com rod on it so it shrinks. So I'm just going to leave that in the freezer for half an hour. And then I'm going to warm this up with a blowtorch and then we'll pop it in the vise, pop it in the press and press it together. And that should help us get it all together then. So I'll go and do that now. Okay, so we're going to put this crankshaft together now. Now I've got all the bearings and spacers and stuff there. I've got to work quickly because I've had this in the freezer. I've warmed the other part up so I can't be dilly-dallying around. So I'm just going to fly through this now and walk you through it later. So put all that on. This is cold, this bit I've got in my hand. Okay, and I've got my feeler gauge there. That's hot. Oh bloody hell, that is hot, isn't it? Jeez. Yeah, it's a bit too hot, that is. So to hold, we'll have to just crank it down pretty quick for the time being. Work quickly because we haven't got time. We are on a time limit simply because we don't have the time. Things warming up the whole time, so I need to sort of work quite fast. I don't get a lot of practice doing this. There we are, now we're going. So I put my feeler gauge in there and we'll just press it down to the feeler gauge. Oh, there we are, that's just right, that is. Okay, now we need to tap this round like that until it looks fairly square. There we are, we're somewhere in the region there. That's better, we've got a bit of play in that there. I can get me feeler gauge in that, that's fine. Yeah, 0.4mm feeler gauge in there, that's fine. So that's how you press a crankshaft together. Pretty damn fast, to be honest. That was faster than I'd have liked, and not as well as I'd have liked, but we'll let that settle now. And I'll show you how to go and back in the workshop, and I've got the crankshaft set up on V-blocks with a dial gauge, and as I rotate it, you'll see that the needle moves, and where it's moving from and to. Okay, so this is coming up to a high spot here. Just there is the highest point. Just there. Just there. So that means that the crankshaft is twisted slightly. Now which way it's twisted depends on, because obviously you've got the crank pin here. So we need to twist it that way. So this needs to go down. Okay, so I've knocked the crank round a little bit, and we'll just see where the next lowest point is. So that's the highest point, just there, and that means that the crank is bent like a banana that way, which means it's splayed, which means if we pinch the crank together there like that at the base here, it should remove that. So we'll just quickly do that, and all I'm doing is literally putting it in the vise like that and giving it a gentle squeeze, put it back in, measure it again, and then see where we go from there. Now if I've pinched the crankshaft together, and this might move a little bit because I'm trying to hold it with one hand. No, there we go. Perfectly balanced, look. No movement at all. But if I move the needle, that is, oh, got 5/10 thousandths of an inch maybe. But yeah, that is pretty perfect, to say the least. Yeah, so that's how you balance a crankshaft. I can go back together in the engine now. This is the engine I've just built in a bit of a hurry. It cooked the valve seats, so I had to resort all the valve seats and stuff, recut them, and then recut the valves, and then grind the valves in. So I've basically gone over this engine like with a fine-tooth comb, and this is its first attempt at starting, so we'll see. Okay, turn the key. Beautiful. Couldn't get better than that, to be fair. That's running as sweet as a nut, like a modern vehicle. Not bad for 40 years old. Turn of the key, no choke, no vibration, just ticking over. Beautiful. So yeah, that's one of the things we did build in as well. Something that I've done a lot of in my career as a marine engineer. And I must give a shout out to the guy at Classic Carbs, who quite willingly gave me all the settings for this carb because I didn't have them to hand. Absolute gem of a bloke. So that's classiccarbs.co.uk. They're up near Birmingham somewhere, and he's an absolute gent. Can't fault the guy enough. He's an amazing bloke. So yeah, if you need carbs for a classic vehicle or an uprated carb because the one you've got's crap, they're the guys to go and see. And if you want your engine building, come see me.